Hi everyone, my name is Bonnie. I'm one of the ECP interns for this year, and today I'll show you around some of the tasks that I usually do during like a normal work hour. I just got out of class and so I'm just starting work now. I have about an hour until our staff meeting starts because it's a Friday, and so I guess I'll show you some things around. Currently, as you can see, I'm in a Zoom meeting with my co-intern so that we can plan certain things, but I'll show you around on how to make an agenda for a class during a normal week, and then like maybe some special projects that I'm working on, as well as some tips on what you should look forward to as an ECP intern, so stay tuned. My favorite thing about being an ECP intern is doing icebreakers with my class, getting to know them one-on-one, or at our socials. I also really enjoy working with such an incredible team at the International Center who really believe in helping other students feel more connected to UCI and helping them get adjusted to their life in the US. So yeah, that's something that I really enjoy as being an ECP intern. My tip for anyone who is interested in applying is to attend as many IC events and programs as possible. You'll be able to gauge whether or not you really enjoy working at IC. If you can imagine yourself putting on these events, then it's probably a really good fit for you. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. And if you are doing an interview, talk about how you've been to these events before, and they'll definitely be really impressed. So as you can see, I'm currently in a Zoom with my co-intern Chloe right now. We're in a breakout room so that we could talk about this video that we're planning, but we just finished, so I'm just gonna close the screen. Usually before I start work, I would check our agenda and conversation sheet, since that's our main priority is preparing and prepping the curriculum for our class. And so what we usually have, we have who's doing what which week. So usually we have like an agenda that we have to do and a conversation sheet that we have to design for our students, and we have a theme for every week. So yeah, it's just listed here who's going to do what for the entire quarter. And then below we have some icebreaker ideas with instructions, maybe some like reminders that for us. And then at the bottom, we also have our ideas for our social and like what dates that we're going to do. Currently it's empty because we just finished our social. So yeah, usually I would just check this. I would also check my work tracker to make sure that, to remind myself of what I've done already so that I can plan for, next week or what I'm going to do after that. I kind of know what I'm going to do today already, since I've already pre-planned at the beginning of the week, and today is Friday. So what I'm going to work on today is basically a special project that I'm working on with the Women's Hub Center. It's a collaboration between the International Center and also the Women's Hub. I'm going to make some edits to our digital package that we have designed for all of our attendees. I've received some edits and some notes and feedback already, so I'm just going to make some edits before I send it out to our students who will be attending the little paint and sip session. You can see it's mostly done already. I had help from a few volunteers at the International Center, as well as another intern from the Women's Hub. So we've created a lot already. It's just on me to, make some edits if there's spelling errors, if something is not cropped correctly. And after that, I will be sending out an email for all of our participants on like the Zoom link that they'll have to click on to join, or some of the materials that they will need for the event. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do today. Something else that I'm working on today is creating the ECP agenda for week 10. Currently it is week 9, so I want to prepare ahead of time, since we do meet at the beginning of the week to double check everything, like if our conversation sheets are okay, if our agenda is okay. So I just want to prepare that a week ahead. So here I'm working on the ECP week 10 agenda, just creating buffer time and accounting for certain things. Like here we're going to do ECP evaluations, so we'll give our students some time to finish out their evaluations. Most of the weeks we have to plan and look for an icebreaker to do with our students right after our greetings. So yeah, accounting for buffer time. They'll be doing presentations since it is the finals week, and they'll be working on their final project. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is not a typical week in ECP. However, usually we have an ECP week theme, holiday, sometimes it's fashion. Those weeks we'll just split up the work. Maybe one week Chloe will work on the conversation sheet, and then the next week I'll work on the conversation sheet, and then alternating we'll also work on the agenda. So here I have pulled up is a conversation sheet that I created during week 6. Created in Canva, and so we usually have a meme or like trivia, some slang or common phrases. Most of the time we try to include like images just to make it really aesthetic, I guess. We have conversation starters for all our students to use and some announcements for the week. Taking a look at our ECP course space, you can see that we have our instructor information, meeting information with the Zoom link, a lot of other resources from the IC, an FAQ sheet if my students have questions about their role as a facilitator or an international student, a list of their conversation sheets, and their syllabus. Something else that is coming up very soon is that my students are submitting their final reflection papers along with their presentations. Next week, I will just have to double check that they've met the word requirement, answered all the questions, and the instructor will grade their papers during the midterm. I also help grade the papers and we leave feedback for students, but the final is a little bit different. So yeah, you just got to see what's on my computer and some of the things that I'm working on. I'm gonna go get started on those, maybe send out a few emails, but I'll check in with you before the staff meeting.
Whether it's student recruitment.
That's my typical Friday. Thank you for joining me on my short work hour today. If you're interested in applying to become an ECP intern for next year, please click the link below so they can get your application started.